Mob Entertainment wasn't always known as Mob Entertainment. Believe it or not, their very first name for their whole entire company was actually Bad Games, and I'm not joking. That was the actual name that they picked. I don't know why they picked that name, but without further ado, let's go give you an entire evolution of all the logos and names for Mob Entertainment, also including Poppy Playtime, since they also went through some changes of logos. Not names, but just logos. The reason why I'm making this video is, of course, because not that many people actually know the history of Mob Entertainment as a company. Many people do, because some of the recent dramas that happened in the beginning of when, Poppy Playtime first started to kick off. But of course, I do want to let you guys know that I was there before day one even happened. Like, before day one was even a thing, I was there. I used to watch all of Enchanted Mob's videos, and they are actually the creators of Poppy Playtime, if you did not know that. So let's go give you the quick rundown. They first started, of course, their name, the channel, as Bad Games. This is a low quality image of it because it's the best I got, and it's actually from my video because I decided to upload a video when they first announced it. And when they first announced the whole entire company, being called Bad Games, they had the banner, they had a logo. And as you guys can see here, this is a photo from my video. They had around 294 subscribers at the moment, and they just uploaded the very first Poppy Playtime video 4 days ago. As you guys can see, that is the banner, and that is the logo, just being a B, and it was just called Bad Games, which is really strange because why do you want to call your games bad as a studio name? We have no entire idea, but of course that did not last that long. They changed it really quickly. That's why lots of people don't really know about it, and the only way I was able to find it was from my channel when I recorded it. So you can let me know if you guys knew this already, but this is some of the stuff that hardly anybody knows. They also had a Twitter named the exact same thing. As you guys can see, Bad Game Studios, it was literally right there. So they had different names, Bad Games or Bad Game Studio. This was the original, I think, Poppy Playtime, or this is the official Mob Entertainment Twitter, and this is it. As you guys can see, joined May 21st, and of course the whole, every other thing you know about Twitter, but this is when it was called Twitter, not X. But then shortly after, literally like after Chapter 1 came out, or I think right before Chapter 1 started to come out, they uploaded or updated their logo and name to Mob Games. As you guys can see, this was the original black and white logo, just saying Mob Games. They updated the name and of course the logo. And as you guys can see, this was a new one. It had the exact same background as Bad Games, being the whole white blurry bob with some type of static around it, but this time not being called Bad Games, they're now being called Mob Games, kind of similar to the Mob Entertainment animation channel, the very first one started, and then Zamination started a little bit later on. Most of you guys kind of connect Poppy Playtime to Zamination because they're the more popular side of it all, but it all originally started off with the Enchanted Mob, not Mob Entertainment. It actually started with Enchanted Mob. That was their YouTube channel. I've been saying it wrong this entire time, my bad. But as you guys can see, they changed it to Mob Games. This was the original logo in the beginning when Chapter 1 just started, with of course all the controversy and stuff like that. But then it also changed a little bit. This was of course their Twitter. As you guys can see a photo when I took in my videos when they only had 50 tweets, when they had the Mob Games being all capital, just instead of only the M being capital now it was before previously all of it being capital. And then they updated it to the logo that we all know and love now, the new Mob Entertainment or Mob Games logo, because this is actually before they went with the Mob Entertainment name. Yes, told you guys, evolution. They changed a lot in just 2 years. As you guys can see, this is of course the Mob logo we know, but instead of just saying Mob Entertainment, it says Mob Games. They still want to stick with the whole games to show that they're of course a game company. They also had a white version of this logo too, and then they finally changed it to Mob Entertainment. This is of course the final and last update they've done so far. So if you go look up Mob Entertainment, that's just the new name for it. They got rid of the whole games, they got rid of Bad Games, and they got rid of all the previous old logos. So as you guys can see, they even want to cement that this is the final one by adding a Mob Entertainment LED neon light sign to the studio, which is just very cool. They didn't do this with any of the other logos, so I do think that this is going to be the one to stay for a while. And yeah, that's it. Poppy Playtime and Mob Entertainment have been sticking that way for a while now, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. They definitely went through some, ups and downs with changing up all the names, trying to stick with one, I guess trying to find one that actually works. But now let's go into something a little bit more interesting, is of course Poppy Playtime's original logo. Because if you guys do not know, there's a whole Steam website that lets you see previous, updated, and older versions of Poppy Playtime or older versions of any games. And of course, we're able to use it for Poppy Playtime, with this being the original Poppy Playtime logo. And if you guys actually know, this is actually still in the game, because if you look up Poppy Playtime Chapter 1, you can see the Huggy Wuggy poster using this font and this text for Poppy Playtime, with this, of course, being the original and very first logo for Poppy Playtime. Unlike the whole entire company name, Poppy Playtime did not go with any name changes, and they stuck with the one that we know, Poppy Playtime. But of course, the logo did change, because they like changing it here and there. This was the original logo, and fun fact, before even, I want to say this right now, I do think they were working on Chapter 1 and 2 at the same time, because they didn't just had Poppy Playtime 1. They also had this, Poppy Playtime Chapter 2. They also had one that in the game settings that just said Poppy Playtime 2. But as you guys can see, they had this in settings before the whole entire game even released. So I do think that's why Chapter 2 came out so much more faster than Chapter 3, was because they're working on it at the exact same time. And then they get released 6 months later. But as you guys can see, this was the original Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 logo before they changed it to the one we all know and love now. Also, some changes with the Poppy Playtime logo. Sometimes the Playtime in the bottom would be different colors like yellow, red, and blue. But now mainly all the time you see the logos, you see it's just the Playtime is all in red. So it's kind of like a change, kind of like an update. But many of the different logos always have it all red. But some decide to go with the color route. But you could call this original or a change, but it's not too noticeable. Now, it might be it for logos and names evolutions over the years, but now it's time to also talk about something a little bit more interesting. It's character evolutions, because you all already know, I said earlier in the video that Enchanted Mob actually had a different channel, not character. Also, this is a great point for me to say, please subscribe, guys. It helps me out, makes my day, and you don't have to if you don't want to, but it really helps this channel. We talk a lot about Poppy Playtime, so if you like it or like anything indie horror, this is the channel for you. But if you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. Watching this video would do enough for me, or liking or commenting what you liked about the video. Enchanted Mob actually posted 2 years ago, like before Chapter 1 or Poppy Playtime was even announced. Yes, guys, before anything for Poppy Playtime was announced. They didn't mention it one bit. They uploaded this, meet your friendly neighborhood dinosaur. He and a batch of lovable plastic characters are coming soon to a channel near you. Showing the photo of Braun the dinosaur, but this is very interesting because this is uploaded by Enchanted Mob, and also has the logo in the bottom, and they also said how it's coming to a channel near you. Things get a lot more interesting with the next post. We get another one saying here, meet Bot, your new best pal. Beep boop boop. This is another interesting thing because his name is not BoogieBot. They just said meet Bot. Like I said, this is really interesting because he doesn't have his original name. Braun doesn't even have his Braun name. So you're probably wondering, what could this mean? I definitely do think that this could be early versions of them, or what I do like to think is that these two characters were not even meant for Poppy Playtime and were meant for something entirely different. We do know Enchanted Mob wanted to make a show for their animation channel that wasn't Minecraft or something original, and we do know that they had their own sets of characters talking about the whole who could be in Chapter 3 as the main antagonist. They said that that was a different character for a different show that they're working on. It has nothing to do with Poppy Playtime. Well, it looks like Braun and BoogieBot were actually meant for that show, and BoogieBot was just called Bot, and Braun, we didn't even know his name. Maybe it was just called the Friendly Dinosaur. We have no entire idea. They literally made these characters, and they didn't announce anything for Poppy Playtime until, of course, Poppy Playtime went and released. And also they do say here a batch of lovable plastic characters. Yet, if you guys do know, Poppy Playtime does not only have plastic characters. We literally had Huggy Wuggy in Chapter 1. That was all, fluffy. He was fabric. He was a plush. He wasn't plastic. So I do think they were planning to make a show full of plastic characters, and that was it. But then it looks like later on in development, they ran out of characters to add into Chapter 1 or 2. So maybe they went and added in Braun and BoogieBot just to bring in more characters and scrap the show. Or maybe this was actually just plotted out or planned out for Chapter 1. They just didn't want to say it was about Poppy Playtime or a game or anything like that. But you guys can let me know in the comments below what do you guys do think about this. That's me it for this video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys do think about the evolution of Mob Entertainment as a company and of course the different properties. Do you think that Brawn and BoogieBot was originally made for something else? Do you think that they're always originally made for Poppy Playtime? You guys can let me know in the comments below, and also let me know if you knew it was called Bad Games, and if you didn't, well, you learn something new every day. Please don't forget to subscribe. My last time asking you, don't worry, I have to, I'm legally required to, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye. I hope we get some chapter 3 news soon.